Happy Thursday to the Ungovernables, the Captain's Crew, the LFA family, McGroin Nation. We're coming to you live from the deep red state of Tennessee on rumble.com/LFA TV. Welcome to Ungoverned. Happy Thursday to you and 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 you. Maybe not you. You know who I'm talking about. Who's he talking about? You know who you are. Happy Thursday to everybody here who is joining us this morning on another fine episode of Ungoverned. Hey, I'm going to tell you what. I drove a lot of people crazy last night, which happens, on occasion. It's
one of your favorite things to
on
do.
Social media. It is one of my favorite things to do. And I'm not saying that I post rage bait. I don't actually want people. I'm not posting to get people mad. Although I know that sometimes when I post something, it is, the equivalent of kicking a hornet's nest. I'm not doing it for with the intention of making people upset, but I do want a reaction here. I'd like to get to a point where, I did this yesterday on 1210 WPHT, and I do this all the time on this show. You guys know, right? That I tell the trolls, the haters, the doomers, the panicans, the grifters, whatever you want to refer to them as. I tell them, hey, if you got something to say, call. I issued an open challenge yesterday on social media while I was hosting 3 hours of live radio on Odyssey's #1 talk station, Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. And are you shocked that nobody, not a single person, called with disagreements yesterday on the radio? Isn't that what?
Say it ain't so.
Say it ain't so. Right? Say it ain't so. Happens every time we get one of these idiots in the chat. Happens every time I deal with all these people on social media. So, while I was on yesterday, I guess some of the content that we were putting out was pretty good on the radio yesterday because the 1210 team started posting, clips while I was still on the air and we were sharing them. And again, a lot of people were like yelling at me, like, oh, "You're wrong. Maga's dead, and it's you're a paid shill." The same crap that they say every single day. It's tiring. It's tiring. It's tiring. But none of them had the stones to call one. Well, I'm at a job. I'm at work. Well, also you're Canadian, so I don't really care about your opinion about things in my country. That's number one. But it's like, oh, okay, so you're at work, but you have time to post on social media like for hours on end, but you're at work. Tell me how productive you're being. I got it. It was an absolute sugar honey iced tea show yesterday on social media because a clip was posted by several accounts and I watched it. We're going to play it here. There's this psyop going on online. Maga is dead. I'm like, Maga's dead? When did that happen? Why? Who said Maga's dead? Candace. Oh, okay. Yeah, I forgot. When she speaks, her word is gospel, right? When Nick Fuentes speaks, whatever he says is the truth. Wait, but who's the cult again? Huh? Maga is dead because several people who have fairly large audiences online said that Maga is dead. Okay, so because several large accounts on social media said something, that makes it true. And what I find hilarious about these people in particular, right, is they're like, what's the matter? You're not supposed to, you don't like when other people have opinions? I was like, I have no problem with other people who have opinions. The difference is when somebody has an opinion, I usually ask, hey, what data or information, what inputs do you have that led you to that conclusion? What inputs do you have that led you to this, to forming this opinion? And when you ask that, I get like a meme or like a blurry spreadsheet or like, oh, watch this 3-hour video from some obscure QAnon loser on some video platform podcast somewhere. And I'm like, no, bro, you need to give it to me succinctly, at least from 30,000 feet, what you used, what inputs you utilized to form your opinion. And if you can't do that, then I automatically assume you're full of sugar honey iced tea. And so, one guy steps up and he's I thought we weren't supposed to be in lockstep. I didn't think we were a cult. I said, we're not a cult, but ultimately, this comes down to you. When I post something about a group of people or about folks, I say, there's an online psyop that's trying to destroy and divide the base, that's trying to demoralize the base, that's trying to hijack the base, that's trying to destroy this movement. And I called them yesterday because Dan Bongino went on Fox and lit them up. I called them losers. I said these people are life losers who off of social media provide nothing of value. Nothing to anybody. Off of social media. They provide nothing of value. They don't volunteer for campaigns. They don't do any work in their communities. They don't do anything. They can't even go outside because they are so afraid. Let me tell you something. These people are so afraid of finding out the truth and having reality slap them in the face that outside of their online bubble, they are irrelevant. Listen, I know that outside of my online bubble, I'm irrelevant. I know this. I don't care. I was walking through these packed airport gates on the way back from Florida on Tuesday afternoon. Not a soul was like, hey, didn't I see you on the Dan Bongino show this morning? Hey, aren't you the guy who did the St. Patrick's Day video this morning? Hey, I watch your stuff all the time. I think you're great. But I'm not looking for that in the real world. The problem is the Candaces of the world, the Owen Schroyers of the world, the Elijah Schafers of the world. By the way, Elijah Schaefer got mad at me because I called out his butt buddy Owen Schroyer over the fact that he was bewildered by the concept of a cold front. So I said, didn't you destroy your whole family because you couldn't keep it in your, keep your pants zipped with Sarah stock? Yeah. People were like, oh, you just jump right. Because again, who are you? Who are you? Well, sit down and shut up. You degenerate sleaze. I don't think either side wants that guy, Schaefer. But overarching point here, 30,000 foot view here. A lot of the online podcast world is ashamed and afraid to go out in public in the real world and do something because they're afraid of being confronted with the reality that in all actuality, they are irrelevant outside of their online bubble. They need their live stream audience for affirmation. They need their likes. They need their shares. They need their views. They need all of those things like a crackhead needs crack to feel good. They are addicted to the dopamine internet culture that we live in right now. They are addicted to it. It is an addiction. These people provide nothing of value in the real world, and it proves that. They're like, oh, well, read the room, bro. What room are you talking about? It's the effing internet. The overwhelming majority of Americans are not on social media. Yes, there's a lot of them on social media. Yes, you can use social media to build a business, to build a brand, to monetize, to make money, to generate income. I'm not taking any of that away from anybody. I am a capitalist, and I do a lot of my business online. I'm not telling you that the internet's a bad thing or that you can't utilize it to build something. Matter of fact, I love the fact that the internet has given so many people, whether I like them or not, the opportunity to be entrepreneurial. I think it's great. But guys, it's not the end all be all. It is not the arbiter of what is relevant, important, and right all the time. As a matter of fact, lies spread so much faster than the truth on the internet because of the way algorithms are, that in many cases, a lot of the things that you see online aren't real. A lot. Someone can put together a 90-second video making the wetness of water seem like a psyop, and there will be a large crowd of people who'll be like, oh my gosh, is it true that water isn't actually wet? I never looked at it that way, and will fall for it. Just think back. My favorite example to cite with something like this was December 2024 and the drone hysteria with the New Jersey stuff. There were people who were coming up with theories about these drones when a lot of these things were just like a child's toy doing RC games in New Jersey because it was the thing to do for 2 weeks. There are people that are trying to destroy MAGA. We have dedicated, those of you in the chat, we have done this. You know, a significant portion of our lives, a lot of time, a lot of blood, a lot of sweat, a lot of tears, a lot of stress, a lot of, sleepless or not a lot of, nights with not a lot of sleep, okay? To advance this movement as far as we can. And there's a bunch of lunatics, crazy people, bad people, not just bad actors, bad people that are trying to hijack this movement because they think it's the best way they can capitalize and generate income. And they're trying to destroy it. And their campaign online is astroturfed. It is not organic. And this psyop is failing, and you can tell by their behavior that their psyop is failing. Failing. They are scratching at their necks like a drug addict who hasn't got their fix. They are not used to this level of pushback from people who are tired of their bullcrap. And they realize that when real world data comes in, it almost always conflicts with the narrative that they're trying to construct and advance online and on social media. Almost always. And I'm going to show you a couple of indicators on that. Watch the Florida gubernatorial primary, the GOP primary. There is this very, very strange guy running for governor in Florida by the name of James Fishback. Watch how well he does in the Florida GOP primary. People are like, I'm nervous about this guy. You're nervous about him because of the noise that he makes on social media. I am going to tell you, in the real world, I would be shocked if he gets more than 10% of the vote in Florida. Shocked. I think he's going to land somewhere around 5 in the Florida GOP primary. Maybe it'll be higher than that. Because primary is, lower turnout, so you don't need... That guy doesn't have a chance in hell in winning that Florida GOP primary. It's Byron Donalds all the way. Maybe 85-15. I don't know how many candidates are actually on the ballot in that primary. People are like, I'm nervous about him. Don't be nervous about him. Go out and vote. Bring your friends out to vote for Byron Donalds. That guy's got no chance. In the real world. Remember, elections are held in the real world. You have to actually go somewhere and vote, especially in Florida, where there's not a lot of mail-in balloting anymore. You actually have to go somewhere and vote in the real world. A lot of these people don't leave the house. A lot of these Fishback people are folks across the country. He doesn't have that much support in Florida. All right. I'm going to play for you a clip in a little bit. It's going to show you the real world data about MAGA. It is not failing. It is not dead. It is not a dying movement. If anything, this data proves that it is getting stronger. But before we do that, I want to get to a word from our good friends over at OFP Farms. It is OscarFoxtrotPapaFarms.com. Before we do that, I'm going to kindly ask all 2,000, there's 2,000 people in this chat right now. We love it. To do 2 things for me real quick. Remember, it's all about forming these healthy habits, right? First, hit the like button. That's really simple. If you're watching, you have a Rumble account, hit the thumbs up button. That helps our channel more than just about anything else. That's number 1. Number 2, I need everybody in this chat to share this video, this link, with just one of your friends. Think about it. 2,000 people shared with just one. That becomes 4,000, right? That's how we do this. Very simple. Just one. Send it to one person. Don't post. You can post it on social media too, but send it offline to one of your real world friends and say, hey, check this out. Okay? That's what I need you to do. Hit the like button and share it out to some of your friends. You can post it on social media also. It's a great way to get people in and join the ranks here. Folks, OFP Farms has done it again. OFP Farms is preparing to unveil their most exquisite box yet in honor of America's 250th birthday, and you can pre-order this amazing America 250 box right now. Secure the stunning limited edition box at a 20% discount. Big deal. Huge deal. By using the code America250, this beautiful box features their finest packaging, premium products alongside custom design elements, ensuring you will not find a more stunning box anywhere else. Now, to pre-order the OFP Farms America 250 box, you can do two things. You can go to ofpfarms.com. You can use the promo code America250 for 20% off. Or you can scan the QR code, bottom right-hand portion of your screen that you see right there. That's ofpfarms.com, ofpfarms.com, ofpfarms.com. Promo code America250 for 20% off the America 250 box pre-order. Or you could put the promo code Shawn, S-H-A-W-N, to get 10% off of all the other products on the website if you need to top off your stockpile of OFP Farms goodies. That's ofpfarms.com, promo code Shawn for 10% off of your entire order, or promo code America250 for 20% off of the pre-order of the America 250 box. ofpfarms.com, ofpfarms.com, Oscar Foxtrot, Papa Farms.com. And again, a happy belated birthday to the great Corey. That will be Papa OFP Farms with his big, beautiful beard. We love it. All right, here we go. Next up, a word from our friends at Armor Colostrum. It's tryarmor.com/LFA TV, TRYARMRA.com/LFA TV. Folks, you know I'm always on the lookout for life hacks, ways to strengthen my immunity, my gut health, improve my fitness and metabolism, and enhance my skin and hair radiance. Folks, I got to tell you, Colostrum is one of the best life hacks out there. I have had incredible results from it. It has been one of the best decisions that I have made. Start taking this stuff. Colostrum is the first nutrition that we receive in life, and it contains all the essential nutrients that our bodies need in order to thrive. Now, you can check this out. It can help reactivate your hair growth and help your skin glow. The big one for me, fortified my gut health and ignited my metabolism. It also helps fuel fitness, performance, and recovery. So I encourage you to check this out at tryarmor.com/LFA TV. That is TRYARMRA.com/LFA TV to get up to 30% off of your first order. Go to tryarmor.com/LFA TV, TRYARMRA.com/LFA TV for up to 30% off of your first order. tryarmor.com/LFA TV. All right.
Yum.
What are we up to here?
What do you mean?
We got no. Are we? Is everybody in the chat okay? Are we?
We're having bee conversation.
Oh, because we have a pet bee now.
Yes.
I go out of town.
Everybody loves the bee.
I go out of town for 2 days. We have a pet bug.
No. A pet bee.
Well, he's a bug. He's cool though.
Yeah,
he's,
Shawn likes the bee.
He's pretty cool looking. He's chill. He's not. He doesn't-
washes his little face.
Yeah.
He washes his little tush.
It's very interesting.
He's so cute.
It's. I didn't realize bees were like cats. He was just like.
Yeah, he was constantly giving himself a bath.
I'm like, all right, kind of
Poor thing,
cool.
I always make him so sticky.
He stings me. It's over.
Males don't sting.
So males don't sting.
He's
So
a
there you
male.
go. So he's a male.
Yeah,
there it is.
fine.
He's one of the boys. That's good.
Yeah, he's a bro.
Maybe we'll get a beer later. Me and the bee.
He's got a hurt leg, so he's limping when he's walking, and he's pimping
when he's talking. There he is. Right. We have a dog. I don't know what's going on here. All right. Let's move into this. Right, folks. MAGA is not dead. Now, I want to be very clear about what I'm about to play. I do not want anybody, live chat, later, on audio, subscribe anywhere you get your podcast, listen to Ungoverned. I don't want anybody who's watching, listening, live, or later to think that what I am telling you is that we can be comfortable, put our feet up, and coast to some sort of easy victory. That is not what I'm telling you. That is not what I'm telling you, okay? What I am telling you is that there are a group of people online who want you to believe the polar opposite of what this real world data suggests and tells us. Now, I got polled again yesterday. It was actually a poll about, it was a political polling firm, but they were hired to do some sort of polling about Walmart.
Oh.
I got polled.
Oh, interesting.
Have you shopped
get
at
polled a
Walmart?
lot.
I get polled. I got polled 3 times last week. Seriously. 3 times.
I believe you.
It's we got the Tennessee poll. We did I had another research poll, a political poll. There was an economics poll I did a week ago, and the Walmart poll. I mean, I get polled a lot. So I know some people are like, I've never been polled. I get it. I get polled a lot. I just happen to be on their list. I'm just telling you. Okay. Here's the thing. Real world responses, real world data. These polls are not perfect, guys. I get it. But when you see a conclusive response, right? Let's say you look at a poll and you see like 65-35, you see like 70-30, 80-20. You could look at that poll, you can look at that data and say, all right, this poll is onto something. There's at least some sort of sentiment that is present in society that a poll found an extremely convincing result. When you're dealing with a poll, maybe a margin of error of like 3 and it's a 6-point margin and you're like, is it really that conclusive? A slight error in the sample, could skew the results. When something is like 80-20, the sample really doesn't matter unless it's skewed extremely heavily. And you can look at this data and usually the sample is not skewed extremely heavily. If anything, it's heavily skewed in the opposite direction when you get polls like this. Let me ask another question to live chat. Is CNN your friend? Is NBC News your friend? Would you consider NBC News and CNN to be friends of the MAGA movement? Yes or no? In the chat. Would you consider friends of the movement to be CNN or NBC News, right? Do you consider those 2 outlets to be your friends? Do you consider those 2 outlets to be friendly sources? Take a look at the live chat. They're saying no. They're saying absolutely not. Okay? I get it. Good. Fine. Perfect. That's the answer we're looking for, right? Because it's the truth. They're not our friends. So, because they're not our friends, let me ask you this question. Do you think... Oh, there's an F no in the Winky. Coming in hot today. Look at that. Holy
That's
smokes.
what you get when you have red hair. You just get fiery.
Winky's just fired up. All right. Let me ask you this. Since they're not our friends, it's unanimous. It's unanimous that they're not our friends, right? Since they're not our friends, do you think they would want to find results that would give us confidence? Yes or no? Do you think CNN and NBC, who we have just established are not our friends, would want to find results in a poll and report on it and publish it on their airwaves that would give us confidence? Again, the answer is no. They do not. F no. Bad Moon. No. Joe Botox. No. He's got like the Darth Vader no. No. Right? It's like, look, they don't want to find results and publish results and broadcast results and share results that would give us confidence. Which leads me to what I am going to play for you right now. Do you get it? You get it? CNN yesterday, and a lot of these idiots online, CNN, they didn't even listen to the clip because it's not even a CNN poll. It's an NBC News poll that wanted to find the approval rating of Donald Trump among self-identified MAGA supporters. One guy was like, how does a pollster know who's MAGA? Oh, I don't know. They ask, would you describe yourself as a MAGA Republican? Yes or no? Yes. Do you approve Donald Trump? Yes. Folks, watch this, listen to this, take this in, because this is a poll conducted of people in the real world via phone call, text message, email. And it gives you a result that absolutely destroys the astroturfed online social media psyop narrative that MAGA is dead. MAGA is not dead, and this real world data proves it. Watch.
Yeah, sometimes you look at the polling data and there are numbers that just jump off the screen at you, and this is one of those. Because just take a look here. MAGA GOP view of Trump. Approve 100%. 100%. If you are a member of MAGA and the GOP, you approve of Donald John Trump. 0% say that they disapprove. You don't have to be a mathematical genius to know you can't go higher than 100%. He is the 1972 Miami Dolphins. Now, there are some Republicans who disapprove of Donald John Trump, but they are not members of the Make America Great Again movement. The bottom line is this. If you are a member of MAGA, you approve of Donald Trump.
It's interesting, though, because there have been a couple prominent people who have sort of come out online, and they're very mad about this war with Iran because he promised no new wars. Is there any sign that people might be leaving MAGA relative?
Pause. Did you hear what she said? There are a lot of comments of people online. Remember that and continue.
To 2024.
Yeah, okay. So, I've said it before, and, the theme of this segment is Tucker Carlson be darned. And when we look at the numbers, I've heard some people say, oh, you know what, when you look at those MAGA numbers, it doesn't account for those who might have left MAGA. But take a look here. Americans who identify as MAGA, in November of 2024, it was 28% of Americans. Now it's basically the same. If anything, it's slightly higher at 30%. The bottom line is this. The MAGA base within the GOP is not shrinking. It's the same size. If anything, it is slightly larger than it was back in 2024 when, of course, Donald Trump won a second term. So that 100% that Donald Trump has approval among MAGA GOP, that is not an artifact of MAGA shrinking. It's just an indication of how strong Donald Trump's grip is on that MAGA base.
And so I guess that begs the question, what's happening with inside the GOP and if there are any splits there, because with those kind of numbers, they're going to want to retain that, right? So they can retain their seats.
Yes. And you know what we're talking about, we mentioned Iran in the intro of this segment, GOP on U.S. military action in Iran. Look at this. In MAGA, it's 90% approval. It's 90% approval, just 5% disapproval. If you disapprove of the job that Donald Trump is doing, the U.S. military action in Iran, and you're a member of the GOP, look at this. It's your non-MAGA. You're non-MAGA. It's 36% there, 54% approved. But the majority of Republicans approve of the job that the U.S. military action is in Iran, and the majority of MAGA, which is the majority of the GOP, very much approve, 90%. Very little split in Donald Trump's base. Those who disapprove in the GOP, simply put, they hate MAGA.
It's really clear. MAGA has the floor.
MAGA has the floor, 100%.
All right.
MAGA has the floor. Okay? Now, I'm not telling you that polling is perfect, because it isn't. I'm not telling you that polling is perfect. I'm not telling you that I would bet the farm. But when you find polling, I want you to think of it. Just listen to what I'm saying. When you find polling that gives you a conclusive and definitive result, do I believe that there is 100% approval among everybody who may consider themselves MAGA of Donald Trump? Do I believe that it's actually 100%? Or do I believe that I could find a few people in the real world say, hey, are you a MAGA guy? Yeah. Do you approve of Donald Trump's war on Iran? Nah. Are you happy with his presidency? I bet you I could find some people who would say they're MAGA and say, no, they're not happy with Donald Trump. I'm not telling you that I believe this poll 100% verbatim, okay? What I'm telling you is when a poll finds a result that is that conclusive, let's say it was 97-3. Let's say it was 90-10. Let's say it was 85-15. The thought is the same. The sentiment is the same. Donald Trump's popularity among his base is not shrinking and is not fractured. The people who are telling you, I voted for him 3 times, they weren't MAGA to begin with. These are not people who could speak for you. And I'm not trying to speak for you either. But I think you agree with what I'm saying here, that the base, the support, the key supporters, like the P1s, are still with Trump. When you have a poll that has a result that is that conclusive and definitive, that's conducted in the real world, scientifically conducted, not an X poll that can be manipulated by Pakistani bot farms like this, then you have at least something you can interpret and take from that. I mean, if I was to call our good friend Chase Bowes right now, say, Chase, have you ever seen a poll 100-0? He'd be like, no, that's crazy. But it's not even that. It means that there are no dissenters. It just means that the popularity and approval of people who support Trump right now and supported him in 24 has not changed. Guys, this is clear, and I'm just telling you, when you post this evidence, this actual real-world data, an NBC News poll that was reported by CNN, when you post actual real-world data that disproves and debunks the online psyop that is being waged on the MAGA movement to destroy it and to fracture it. When you post that real world data, these people melt down because they don't know how to handle any information that goes counter to the narrative that they're pushing. Why? Because they exist 24/7 in their online echo chambers. That is full of nothing but affirmation, nothing but this idea that all of their online analytics and metrics mean anything when you turn down your computer screen, when you shut off your phone, when you enter the real world, when you go to the supermarket, when you're dealing with people face to face and not online through a screen and behind a keyboard. It means nothing. They can't handle that. You are seeing the way a perpetually online group of people behaves when they enter a non-online setting. It's like they're confronted with a foreign language and they're like, yeah, cannot compute, and they start short-circuiting. That's what these people are dealing with and doing right now. So you have a group of people online who say MAGA is dead. You have a poll that was conducted not online among MAGA people that says MAGA is alive and well. Who are you more willing to believe? I would be more willing to believe real world data. Now, if the real world data echoed and aligned with and was parallel to the online world data, then they would have a point. And I would say, guys, we have a problem. We got to fix this before the midterms. At this point, they are in the last throes of an extinction burst bender that we haven't seen in a long time. These guys, these gals, they're going nuts. Now they're telling people not to vote. Taliban and Tehran Tucker is having, Joe Kent on his podcast. It is, whatever. It's fine. Interview him. I'm not telling you can't. And this Joe Kent situation is really sad because I met him and he was a different guy a couple years ago. Even his social media posts would indicate that. The perpetually online grifter, doomer, what do I call it? The perpetual online grifter and doomer class. The TDS podcast circuit, the It's the Jews people, those folks have an agenda. Their agenda is to divide and destroy and atomize MAGA and then scoop up. It's like a piñata. This is exactly what they're doing. Let me explain to you exactly what they're doing. This just popped into my head. The perpetually online grifter, doomer, panicking class, the podcast circuit, right? They are swinging at MAGA like it's a piñata. All of them are doing this at the same time. They want to bust it open and then they want to dive on all the candy like a bunch of crazy, rabid children who want their sugar high, and they want to scoop up as many of those pieces for themselves as possible and then go do something with that as new members of their audience. They are looking at this movement like it is a piñata. They want to bust it open, they want to hoard all the candy for themselves, and then they want to run away. That's what they're doing. The good news is, when you look at real world data, poll after poll after poll after poll, sample after sample after sample after sample, and this NBC News poll being the latest one, they are not making a dent because the only people they are affecting are perpetually online people that do nothing off of social media. Nothing. They don't walk their neighborhoods. They don't volunteer for campaigns. They don't knock on doors. They don't do the 10, 10, and 10. They may not even vote. And a lot of them probably aren't in this country. And a lot of them probably have not seen the sun in years. They stay in that basement, clicking away, honking their hedgehog to some sort of tentacle porn that's on their screen. They don't do anything in the real world because, number one, the hosts of these shows, the leaders of these audiences, they don't want to be confronted with the reality that in the real world, they are nobody, nothing special. And their followers don't go in the real world because the real world never treats people like that kindly. Do not let this psyop destroy you. Do not let this psyop. It's not going to destroy you, folks, but it will demoralize you if you let it. It will demoralize you. You'll go, wow, look at all these comments. I made a post last night. I'm telling you, I blocked 60 bots or idiots in there. They added nothing. And block. I swear. I made one post and they came out, they swarmed it out of the woodwork. Block. Why? You're shutting down free speech. Free speech, the First Amendment says Congress shall make no law. It doesn't say Sean Ferris shall block no idiots. It's free speech. It's free speech. You don't like free speech. No, I don't like idiots in my replies. If you're acting like an idiot in my replies, you might get blocked. You have the right to speak. I have the right to block you. I love that argument, right? Oh, it's a free speech. You can't block anybody. Am I Congress? Am I the federal government? I thought you're a constitutional conservative. I am. The Constitution restricts the power of government. It does not restrict my power. Congress shall make no law. Not Sean Ferris shall block no dumbasses on the internet. Therefore, I shall continue to block dumbasses on the internet. If you come in the replies and you're toxic, I have people who I know will comment on my stuff because they disagree, but they do so in a way that's not toxic. They're passionate about it, but whatever. We could disagree. I could exist with people who don't agree with me. It's fine. It's when you come in STFU, faggot, and all that. I'm like, nah. That doesn't help anybody. It doesn't advance any sort of dialogue, any sort of conversation. And then there's the folks who are like, well, stop attacking Candace and Tucker. They have the right to speak too. Well, what you're telling me is you believe they have the right to speak without any sort of pushback. Who's the cult again? Thou shalt not question Taliban Tucker Carlson. Thou shalt not question crazy Candace Owens. Really? Thou shalt not question Doha Dave Smith. What? Why? They can ask questions, but I can't ask questions to them? What makes them infallible? Who made them so special?
They're cult followers.
That's what it is. And I feel the same way about folks who say, thou shalt not question Donald Trump. You can support him. But we live in a republic, guys and gals, and it is our right, it is our job to raise concerns if we have them. The difference between raising concerns if and when we have them and perpetually whining and complaining and trying to undermine the movement every day while you're on the internet, well, there is a huge difference. One, you're trying to better the country when you have a concern. Hey, I don't know how I feel about this policy. I have this question for the administration. Or, hey, if they do action X and it leads to Y, could we backtrack and repair the damages? That's fine. That's the way it's supposed to be. It's when you are doom and gloom and panic and the world is ending and the sky is falling every day on social media, you're not focused on some of the more important issues like the Save America Act, etc., then you're not trying to make anything better. You're just trying to bust open that piñata and take as much of the candy for yourself. That's all you're trying to do. Well, the good news is that psyop is failing. Bucklebrush Jones says, I love Trump, but $6.50 gas is a midterm loser. Yeah, that's definitely a problem. That's definitely a problem. Now, that being said, $6.50 is probably the price of gas in California. It's not the price of gas here in Tennessee. I'm not telling you that gas is cheap, because it's not. And you got this drama with the Strait of Hormuz. Thanks, NATO, you bunch of worthless pricks. in Europe. I'm done with that organization. So let me get this straight. Well, we'll get to this story in a bit, but let me get this straight. So when Ukraine is attacked, we have all the NATO countries begging the United States for help, and we help. But when the United States is putting an end to the largest state sponsor of terror in the region, which poses a far greater threat to Europe than it does to the United States, although Iran still poses a threat to the United States and U.S. military personnel and citizens in the region, hence why we're doing what we're doing. They're like, no, we're not getting involved. It's not our war. Really? NATO? F you. France? Really? Well, France. What are we going to do with France? They got a pretty boy as president with Emmanuel Macron. If anyone is trans, it's not Brigitte. That dude's a girl. Macron. Emmanuel.
They do love to do the changing of things and then marry each other.
Yeah.
That's what I hear.
I think Candace got it wrong. Brigitte's not a dude. Emmanuel is a woman. Yeah, we heard he sits when he pees. Look at that.
I was gonna
Look
say
at that. Look at that. He sits when he pees. He's a sitter. He's a sitter. I hear he does the hovercraft. He gets in there. He doesn't go all the way down because he's afraid of getting a urinary tract infection. That's Emmanuel Macron. He sits when he pees. All right. All right, we're gonna get into a little bit of Joe Kent in a second. A little bit of the FBI investigating him and the FBI investigating another trouble group, which is good news. And then we're going to have some fun with the Bucktooth Botox Bandit of Buffalo, because this is just a classic clip from the Wicked Witch of the Northeast, Kathy Hochul, the Bucktooth Botox Bandit of Buffalo. But before we do that, I want to get to a word from our friends at goldencrestmetals.com/LFA. goldencrestmetals.com/LFA.
I'm sure by now you've heard that
I got to tell Newsmax I can't go on today. What happened?
Jeremy's not playing. You are. They just heard you.
your free gold guide today, and make sure you tune in on Saturdays at 1 p.m. for the Crest Report, where we dive deep into precious metals, why they're doing what they're doing, and where we expect them to go. It is like insider trading. Nancy Pelosi knows about that. We don't. It's just inside information. It's not even really that. It's called knowledge. Get yours today and get a part of gold, silver, palladium, and platinum, and diversify your portfolio today. goldencrestmetals.com/LFA.
Yes, that's right. I cannot go on Newsmax today. That's right. Because we have HVAC coming to the house, so I'm not going to be able to do it. We'll do it live. I told you when OBS updates, all sorts of crazy games happen. goldencrestmetals.com/LFA. goldencrestmetals.com/LFA. I can't because I've got HVAC, so if anybody wants to forward that message, I'll let them know. goldencrestmetals.com/LFA. That's not Brennan's fault. I press all the buttons.
I'm not actually anybody's producer. I'm just in the chat.
She's just in the chat, and she's on our mic. Yeah.
People think I'm the producer. I'm not.
She's not the producer. There you go. But hey, listen, nothing to hide. You know, I got HVAC. We have HVAC coming to the house today, so I'm not going to be able to do that. There it is. All right. Thank God I didn't say anything bad.
I really closed one too, because I say some crazy.
Sometimes Brennan says this stuff. There you go. Here we go. Gotcha. A Portland refugee appears to be behind a little bit. It is unmuted. We got it fixed, but sorry about that, guys. It's that doesn't usually happen. Usually I mute the right input and output, but there it is.
That's fun though.
Yeah, we got HVAC.
That was silly.
All right, folks, there we go. Let's move into this Joe Kent story. This is a bizarre story. Absolutely bizarre story. Okay, here we go. Right here, Joe Kent was apparently being investigated by the FBI over leaking classified information. People are like, oh, Joe Kent said something about Israel, and now the FBI. This has been going on for months. Always with these people. Why? Oh, man. We're having a time. There we go. That's what we were looking for. I needed Chewbacca to get up and in there. Okay? Joe Kent. That time he just came up. Okay. Just, here, do it again. While we're at it. Just put it all up there, right? That's just, all the stuff's on the screen now. All right. Get off the screen! Get off my phone, you idiot! There we go. It's just insane. It's insane. The damn update that the other night. This whole thing is out of control. All right. The FBI is investigating Joe Kent for leaking classified information. Revealed on Wednesday that Joe Kent, who resigned this week from the DNI counterterrorism unit citing the war in Iran, is under investigation. Laura Ingraham broadcast the allegation saying Joe Kent, the former director of the United States National Counterterrorism Center from Semaphore, just resigned. He's now under investigation, but he's been under investigation. It says here the FBI investigation for allegedly leaking classified information predates his departure. So this was not a reflexive action. Kent resigned, investigation opened. This is more likely a reflexive action on Kent's side. Under investigation, I'm getting the hell out of here. Now, he went on Tehran Tucker's show yesterday. I love that name. Okay? He went on Tehran Tucker's show yesterday, and I just have to ask, I'm just asking questions. Mm-hmm. Was he leaking information to Tucker Carlson?
Probably.
I don't know. But what I'm going to say, and I know I saw Megyn Kelly say, oh, you want to lose the base in the midterms? Yeah, you know the base. Aren't you the bimbo who asked the only Rosie O'Donnell question to Donald Trump? You've got nobody fooled, by the way. Nobody. Megyn Kelly. She follows me, and I don't know why.
Never trust anyone with two first names.
Yeah, or who spells Megan with a Y.
Yeah.
If any of you do, you're the exception to the rule.
You.
Okay. But my point of matter here is, if you're leaking classified information, I don't care what side of the aisle you're on, you shouldn't be doing that, okay? You shouldn't be doing that. It's against the law. Don't do it. If you're doing it, you face the consequences. I'm not a partisan hack. I don't say, well, Joe Kent, he was MAGA in 2024, so cut him some slack. If you're leaking classified information, that's a problem. That's a problem. Just like this FBI now is also going after, this is good news, Antifa. All right? They are investigating them and the IRS. The IRS finally doing something worth a damn. The investigative arm of the IRS and the FBI have reached a major turning point as they dig into nonprofits and NGOs that are funding the activities of Antifa. Oh, those idea funders. Oh, those idea funders, right? I thought Antifa was just an idea, not an organization. It's just an idea. It's not a group. Silly. All right? So they are now digging into these NGOs and nonprofits. This is the kind of news that we like. Government seems to be doing something that many Americans say they voted for when Trump won another term. Getting rid of the potential noxious collusion between far-left progressive nonprofit organizations and the homegrown terror entities like Antifa, which is declared a domestic terror organization. CBS News reporters Sarah Lynch and Jennifer Jacobs were the first to report on the administration's new initiative on Wednesday. And if their reporting pans out, it seems like a major turning point in shutting down the ever-flowing piggy bank, quiet piggy, on the left that appears to fund the Antifa mayhem. The report said that the new multi-pronged effort by the Trump 47 agency stems from Attorney General Pam Bondi's memo in December 2025, based on executive order by the president, ordering the full weight of the U.S. federal law enforcement and prosecutorial agencies to bear down on groups and individuals inside the country who take part in Antifa actions or are deemed extremist. FBI and IRS agents are forming a new initiative to investigate nonprofit organizations over suspected possible links to domestic terrorism. Antifa has been declared a domestic terror organization. Sources briefed on the matter told CBS News. In December, Pam Bondi ordered law enforcement agencies and federal prosecutors to prioritize efforts to investigate and prosecute groups and individuals who belong to the anti-fascist Antifa movement or are deemed extremists. The memo read in part, these domestic terrorists use violence or the threat of violence to advance political and social agendas, including opposition to law and immigration enforcement, extreme views in favor of mass migration and open borders, adherence to radical gender ideology, anti-Americanism, anti-capitalism, or anti-Christianity. I'm happy that was included. That's nice. The FBI was also ordered to develop a list of groups that are engaged in acts that may constitute domestic terrorism. The new Mission Control Command Center that is probing nonprofits will be based at the FBI with agents from IRS criminal investigation working on one-year temporary assignments, one of the sources added. There will also be coordination with both Deputy AG's offices and state attorneys' offices with the new anti-terror effort. U.S. attorney offices have been asked to assign a domestic terrorism coordinator. This is a pretty serious thing. This is pretty serious. All right, so there you go. I know a lot of people will say, well, wake me up when there's arrests. I get it. I get it. Investigations, though, have to come before arrests, okay? We understand that, right? You got to investigate, find the criminal activity, find out who's committing the criminal activity with conclusive proof that can get past even the most biased judges and juries and then make those arrests and try those cases. We understand how this works. All right. Quick word from our friends over at Silent, slnt.com/Sean, slnt.com/Sean. Let's face it, ladies and gentlemen, you guys know your phone is a tracking device. Between government agencies, big tech, corporate data brokers, even those pesky cyber criminals, they're all fighting for a piece of your digital footprint, and they don't ask. They just go on and take it. That is why Silent exists. Silent makes Faraday gear that blocks all wireless signals, including cellular, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, RFID, and near-field communications. No signal means no tracking, no remote access, and no breadcrumbs. It's the same technology trusted by special operations teams around the world, used to block signals, avoid surveillance, and secure communications wherever the mission leads. And right now, it's available to you to protect your family, protect your freedom, and secure your digital footprint. All you got to do is drop your phone in a Silent Faraday sleeve, and it is off the grid, completely silent and invisible to the outside world. Now, from their backpacks to their sleeves to their crossbodies, Silent's patented technology gives you control of your privacy. Visit slnt.com/Sean to save 15% and get free shipping on qualifying orders. That is SLNT, Sierra Lima, November Tango.com/Sean. Protect your rights, secure your data, and stay one step ahead. Silent.com, slnt.com. Say it with me. Silence the chaos and go silent today. slnt.com/Sean, slnt.com/Sean. Guys and gals, how about Kathy Hochul, huh? The Bucktooth Botox Bandit of Buffalo.
We're missing one B in there.
Yes, the Bucktooth Botox Booby Bandit. Stick them up. Remember she wore that really tight white shirt?
Yeah. Oh.
We're robbing a bank.
When they approached.
Everyone's up. This is a stick up. Remember, what if Nancy Pelosi robbed the bank? Shut up. This is a stick. Well, she's got jugs.
Big old booties. Yeah,
do your jugs hang low? Do they wobble to and fro? Can you tie them in the bow? Remember that picture from her on the beach?
Yes. That's what I was thinking of.
The brights were on.
Woo.
People were like, Nancy, clean it up. Shut up. That's not a good look for me. Shut up. I love that clip. I got to find that Nancy Pelosi shut up clip. All right. When we have a new soundboard, that's going to be shut up is going to be a part of it. Yeah. All right. Kathy Hochul.
She tucks him into her pants.
What? Who said that?
Kathy Hochul's boobies get tucked into her pants.
Who said that?
Melody Lane.
I love you, Melody Lane. All right. Kathy Hochul. Do you remember what she said in 2022? This is from the New York Post. You're not New Yorkers. I remember when she said that in August of 2022. Hochul said political rivals like Lee Zeldin ought to move to Florida. You're not New Yorkers. She said, get out of town. Those are her words. Get out of town. That's what Kathy Hochul said. Folks, she's now regretting saying that and is now begging the New Yorkers who she told to leave, please come back, she's saying. Please come back. We need somebody to fund all of these new pet programs from Zohran Mamdani and New York State's, social welfare causes for all these illegal aliens and people that don't want to get off their asses and go get a job. Kathy Hochul's now begging for these people to come back. Watch this.
I know New Yorkers are exasperated. They feel that everything's stacked against them. They're not getting ahead. Their rents are too damn high. Their child care costs are high. Their utility bills, and thank you to Washington, we're going to have higher prices at the pump. We already do. Everything just seems so hard for people. So I understand that frustration. You should join me in the North Country yesterday in Ogdensburg and Watertown, and people are so upset about the tariffs, raising the cost of everything. So there is this anxiety, which is real, and we're continuing to address the affordability crisis, which I believe should be the number one priority of this legislative session. What can we do to take off some of that pain that New Yorkers are feeling that I hear about literally every day? What I want to make sure we are smart about is having a system in place where it's not just taxing for the sake of taxing, and being conscious of the facts that I need people who are high net worth to support the generous social programs that we want to have in our state. Right? Now, there are some patriotic millionaires who've stepped up. Okay, cut me the checks. I mean, just if you want to be supportive, but maybe the first step should be go down to Palm Beach and see who you can bring back home, because our tax base has been eroded. So I philosophically don't have a problem. It is like I have to look at the fact that we are in competition with other states who have less of a tax burden on their corporations and their individuals. And I would say remote work changed everything.
Yeah, you are in competition with states who don't tax the hell out of it. Great job, Kathy. You finally understand the fact that your policies drive people out of your state. She says, bring them back. Cut me the checks. Oh, my goodness. If Bruce Blakeman knows what he's doing, he's using that in campaign ads. She wants the millionaires back in New York, not because she thinks they provide any value to society, because they can cut her checks. She's the one who said it. Cut me the checks. What a gross thing for this government official to say. And then right after that, she goes, well, we're in competition with states with a lower tax burden. Yeah. You know why? Because Bill Lee in my state, Ron DeSantis in Florida, and a couple of other states who don't have a state income tax don't have power-hungry governors who are like, give me your money. They're not trying to steal everything from us. But you are. You want people with a high net worth to move back to New York so that you can take more from them, while admitting that they're going to states that don't operate like that and that it's causing competition. Do you know why competition is a good thing? It is supposed to drive costs like that down. You're not supposed to dig in and say, F my competitors, come back here and pay me more money. What kind of pitch is that? But New York City's going to vote for that. They're going to think that's a righteous cause. And that's why in November, things may not go the way you want. I'm telling you, the only thing you could do at this point in New York, if you can't leave, you got to fight. If you can leave, you should get out. Jeremy Harrell up next here with Live from America on rumble.com/LFA TV. Please subscribe to us anywhere you get your podcast by searching Ungoverned on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Hit that subscribe button, hit the follow button here on rumble.com/LFA TV, and that thumbs up button as Jeremy comes on live here in just a few moments. As President Trump says, we will never give up, we will never give in, and we will never ever surrender. And if all else fails, we'll just become ungovernable. Thank you. God bless you. God bless this one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Have a great rest of your Thursday. As you heard, I will not be on Newsmax today. We have HVAC coming to the house. Back here tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, live on rumble.com/LFA TV and 745 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Until then, have a great rest of your day, and thank you for your attention to this matter.